Hi, I'm going to try to make this a pretty quick video. I apologize for any shaking or anything. Midnight's right here. He's wanting to be a pain in the butt. Suppose you have an older laptop that you're worried about and you would like to upgrade to Windows 11, but you don't have the TPM chip, or for some reason it will not, you can't get it turned on. There are versions of Windows 11 that you can download that are small, tiny versions, and I'm going to go over one here. I'm going to show you how to install it using a portable version of Rufus onto your flash drive. Now, I do have a 16 gigabyte flash drive. You can use an 8 gigabyte, but 16 is much better. You know, any extra room you need. But you can do this with an 8 gigabyte flash drive. This is the file you will need. Now you can find this at Internet Archive. And you can do a search for it here. We need Tiny11 B2, no system required or no sys required, ISO. When you get to the page, there are two ways to download this. Now, do not download the torrent file. Just go with the download the ISO image right here. Now this can take up to an hour to download. It is 3.6 gigabytes. Now I'm going to download this, which I don't need to download, but I'm going to do it anyway. And you can see it's downloading to the web browser. Now I am using Firefox. Now since I don't need this, I'm going to cancel this. And I'm going to move on. Once you get it downloaded, Midnight, really? Make sure you know where it is. And it is right here. For me, it's right here. Alright, the file you're going to need is right here at the top. Now, let me show you what version of Rufus I'm using. Right here I'm using Portable Rufus 3.21. And don't worry about Rufus 2.18. That is what I use to burn Windows XP with. Right here. Make sure you create a folder for Rufus, and this will go in there, just this one folder file right here, the application. Once it's in your folder, you click that and it will create these other two, the Rufus configuration settings and this little Rufus folder. So make sure you name your folder Rufus like 3.21 and put that in there, and then once you open it, it will put those other two versions in there. I'm going to show you the exact settings you need to burn this. Alright, right here I have a 16 gigabyte. I'm going to select the ISO file, and you may have to search for this. Now, if you do not have the TPM chip or you boot through BIOS, take this off GPT. Now I put this on MBR, and it will automatically switch to target system over here to BIOS, and it will have the volume label Tiny11 NTFS. I apologize for shaking. I'm trying to get everything in here to where you can see it. No label. This is the flash drive. Says boot section. I select and found Tiny11 B2 no sysreq.iso. Partition scheme is MBR. Target system is BIOS or UEFI/CSM. Format options, you go down here, it says Tiny11 NTFS, and I put default cluster size, and then start. And of course you have a warning label that it will destroy all data that's on the flash drive. Deleting partitions, and there we go. That is going. I'm just going to minimize all this. And I'm going to jump over here real quick. If Midnight lets me move. Now, I apologize if this light is really bright. I'm trying to get it to where you can see. It's just really dark in here. Alright, here is Tiny 11. Now, this is on a ProBook 6470B. I believe this is the third ProBook I've got my hands on. I've already given 2 away, I believe. And so this is basically just an extra laptop. This only has 4 gigabytes of RAM installed. Now, a couple things you're going to have to do before you get everything set up. You will have to go through your settings when you set this up. Pick your keyboard layout, if you're in the US, things like that. And it will show up to where data collection. You need to turn all that off. You do not want Microsoft collecting your data and selling your data. You can turn all that off when you're installing this. Now, this took approximately an hour, I guess, to install on this laptop. Now, it does not come with a web browser installed. To get a web browser, you have to go down here to the Microsoft Store. Okay? Now, I have tried installing, and I have installed a few things. I'm going to go over some good things and some bad things with this. Alright, once you're here, search apps, games, movies, music, and more. Just type in Firefox up here. Firefox. And go for the Mozilla Firefox app. And see, I already have it installed. You'll have to go right here to install it. Now, I did check here for Google Chrome. They do not have Chrome. So if you want Chrome, once Firefox is installed, close that. You will have to open Firefox. And then, I'm not gonna set this as default. In Firefox, you will have to type in Google Chrome, and you will have to download it and install it manually. Now, I'm going to show you this will work with certain things. Let's go to YouTube. Now, I'm going to type in for my videos, so I don't get a copyright strike or nothing. And let's just go here. This is one of mine.
Hi, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything. When my girlfriend got released from the hospital this last time, within a couple of days of us being home, I got sick.
Okay, I hope you could hear that. And I will go over an issue I found after I installed this. But there's something else you need to know. On some apps, they do not install correctly or will not install at all. If you like watching TV, like using Pluto TV, you will have to watch it through a web browser. The Pluto TV app does not install on this. I have tried several times. Let's go to Google Chrome here. Like I said, you have to install Google Chrome through a different web browser. And Pluto TV. Once you're on Google or Firefox, just do a search for Pluto TV, and it's right here. Of course, you do know if you watch Pluto TV, it actually starts with the sound muted, which is fine because I do not. Okay, I can do this. I do not want to get a copyright strike, so. Alright, let's cancel this or close this out. Now I'm going to go over a couple things real quick. How you can find certain things on this Windows 11 version. Over here, it will have widgets, which I absolutely hate widgets. I'm going to end up seeing if I can close this down. I don't like this whole widget thing. But let's say you want to find your videos, music, everything else. You will go to this folder that says File Explorer. You will right click and it will open this that says Desktop, Documents, Pictures, Music, Videos, Downloads, File Explorer. So that will take you to your documents, pictures, music, videos, things like that. Now over here you will notice something that looks like the four-squared Microsoft startup. Now if you right click this, this brings up everything: your installed apps, mobility center, power options, event viewer, system device manager, network connections, disk management, computer management, terminal, taskbar, settings, search, run, shut down, or sign out, and desktop. Let's go to installed apps. I will show you what I actually have installed on here. Okay, there's 21 apps found. Calculator, camera, Candy Crush I did install, Club Vegas I installed, Firefox, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge. That is not on here, I don't believe. Microsoft Mahjong I installed through the Microsoft Store. So, and Simple Solitaire I installed. Now some of these things are not installed, like Paint I don't believe is installed. Nope, it is installed. So here's advanced options. I have not gone through this whole thing, so I don't know everything on here yet. Let's go to System. Let's go to, actually I don't need anything on the system. So, and Windows Update is here, over here on this side. Windows Update does work. Once I installed it, I did do an update on Windows Update. So Windows Update does work. Now let's get to some issues, especially with this laptop. This may or may not happen on your laptop. This is not a serious issue. Once again, Pluto TV and some apps will not install. But most things that will not install, you can use through a web browser. When you first install this, you have to go through, of course, you pick your country, your keyboard layout, and all this other stuff. You have to turn off all the data collection stuff from Microsoft. and it will show a screen what we can collect and sell and trade and all this other. There's a whole list of stuff that you need to shut off. You do not want to share anything with them. And then it took me about an hour to install this. And it does not come with a web browser. So once again, if you install this on a system, my advice, before you overwrite your hard drive, get a different hard drive. Get one you can experiment with, even if it's an old hard drive that'll fit in your computer or laptop. You do not want to overwrite your operating system you have installed now. You want to make sure this will work for you and everything will work for you. So, like I said, no web browser is installed. But you can go to the Microsoft Store, install Firefox from the Microsoft Store. You cannot install Google Chrome from there. I did try to install Opera. It would not install Opera. It would not install Pluto TV. So to get Pluto TV, if I wanted Opera, I would have to go to a web browser such as Firefox or use Chrome once Chrome is installed, and download and install Opera straight from the Opera website. The installer on the Microsoft Store does not work. Another issue I found is right here. You see my Wi-Fi is lit up, web is lit up, but my speaker is not lit up. Now my speakers do work. They are right here. But watch what happens if I push the button that's not lit up. There it goes. It muted everything. So that is not lighting up. Is that an issue or a deal closer? Absolutely not. So once again, if you have an old laptop or something like that, and you want to install Windows 11, but you just can't because you don't have a TPM chip, and you know, you can install a version of Windows 11, a tiny 11 version. I will go over and show you once again which one you need if you do not have the TPM chip. Like I said, do not overwrite your operating system until you are sure and certain that everything is going to work correctly. I will go over everything again really quick. Microsoft Store does work. To get to your documents, go to File Explorer and right click, and it brings up your list. To get to everything else, see, here's your desktops. This only has one desktop. To get to everything else, go here where it says Start, not over in the corner, but right here. Right click, and it brings up your list. Installed apps, Mobility Center, Power Options, System, Device Manager. Let's go to Device Manager and check out what this shows that I have installed on here. There are some things here that are not installed that says other devices. Everything seems to be working, so I'm not sure about that. Which possibly it could be have to do with the button over here. But everything seems to be working. Audio inputs and outputs is here. Right there, speakers, microphone, Bluetooth, computer, So everything seems to be working on this laptop. Now this laptop is Intel HD graphics 4000. So it seems like everything is working. But like I said, you do not want to go installing stuff over your existing hard drive unless you know it's going to work. Now, I'm not sure what Mobility Center is, because, oh, here we go. Mobility Center, apparently you can adjust your brightness, your audio, battery, um, looks like some kind of projection. This has computer management and disk management, network connections. You will have to set up your Wi-Fi password if you're using Wi-Fi when you install it. Also, what you can find is go here. You can go to Mobility Center. No. Oh, where was I? Oh, right here. I'm sorry. Network connections. I'm not sure if there's another way to get to this or not, but you go to network connections. And over here on this side, you can go to Windows Update. And yes, this will update through Windows Update. And I have already updated it. There's another new update is available. You know what? I'm not going to even install that because I'm going to slate this hard drive anyway because I have a different hard drive that fits in this laptop that I did not want to overwrite. So, but if you want Windows 11, but you don't have the TPM chip or TCM, I believe it's TPM chip, and you need a small version that will run on a older system, older laptop, then a tiny version of Windows 11 will work for you. Let's go back to system here. You can pair this. I do not want to pair this. Let's go for storage. And I believe this is more like a disk cleanup, but it shows storage here. There are 3.73 gigabytes of installed apps. Advanced storage settings, backup options, storage space, other disk and volumes. Here's accounts over here on this side. Now, I do not have a Microsoft account. I did not set one up. Okay, so you don't have to set up a Microsoft account to install this or use it. See, absolutely nothing is set up through Microsoft. I got too far over and that widget open. Okay. Alright, let's close this. So I'm going to go ahead and once again show you how to do everything or how to find this operating system. But make sure you do not overwrite your operating system unless you're absolutely positive. Personally, I would just get a cheap hard drive, slap it into your laptop to test this first to make sure everything is working. And that way you can get all your stuff transferred or reinstalled or whatever. And to shut this down, go here where it says start. right click, bring up your list, and down here it says shut down or sign out, and I'm just going to shut down. Okay, that's it for that. Let's go back over here. And it looks like this may be done. It says ready. I'm going to show you now, once again, the settings if you don't have the TPM chip. How to burn this to a flash drive. And let's go to right there. See, this has 11.2 gigabytes free of this 14.9 gig flash drive. That's why I said you can use it 8 gigabyte. You don't have to use a 16 gigabyte because it doesn't use 8 gigabytes. Let's see if I can get that. Free space is 11.2 gigabytes out of the 14.9 gigabytes. So basically, right here, it is using 3.72 gigabytes. You could possibly use a 4 gigabyte flash drive. Once again, if you have a 4 gigabyte, it's going to be cutting it real close. That's why I suggest you use a 8 gigabyte, because once you get a flash drive so far close to the end of your free space, it like reddens out to where it gives you like a warning or error. That's why if you use a 4 gigabyte, you are right there literally at the very edge of that flash drive. So I recommend a 8 gigabyte, no smaller. Format this because I don't need this. You know what? I'll just leave it on here. Okay, to install it on your computer depends on what type of computer you have. You have to take your flash drive, install it into one of the USB ports, turn on your computer or laptop. You have to get into the boot order. On the HP back there, you have to hit ESC. Once you start your laptop, that's the HP back there, hit ESC. Right here, the ESC button. And then it will bring up a list, and you hit F9. That is for the HP ProBook. For the Dells, the Latitude E6500 is what this laptop is. When you start it, I believe it's F10. It will show you a little thing down here, but I really believe, if I recall, it's F10. You just have to hit like F10, and it will enter the boot order, and then you pick boot from your flash drive that you created. Alright, once again, we are going to go find that ISO for you. And you want the one with no sys required or no system required. And remember, do not download it through the torrent Always download it through the ISO image through your web browser. Alright, that is a small update for people who are interested in Windows 11 but don't have that TPM chip. You can use Windows 11. It is a stripped down smaller version. It does run with 4 gigabytes of RAM. So, you know, it doesn't take a lot of RAM to run it. It actually takes probably about less than a gig to run it, I believe. Now, there are different versions of Tiny 11 on this site. You can see there are various versions of Tiny 11. You just have to find the right one, and you can go here, software, data, apply filters, and you can see the different versions of Tiny 11. Excuse me. But once again, I am giving you the exact if you want to copy and paste this or type it in, excuse me again. This file is here, of course. So that is how you get Windows 11 if you don't have the TPM chip. That is how you install Windows 11 onto a flash drive. That is how you update Windows 11 and use Windows 11. Remember, do not overwrite your operating system unless you're absolutely sure, in case something doesn't work correctly. And yes, not all the apps on the Microsoft Store will install. I found Pluto TV will not. They do not have Google Chrome. You have to do a web search for that. So install Firefox first through the Microsoft Store. Install Firefox. Then start Firefox. Do a search for either Opera or Google Chrome, whichever you want to install. And then download it and install it that way. Pluto TV will not work. I did install a few games like Candy Crush, Solitaire, things like that. But anyway, that's it. I am fixing to go. Let's get Midnight back in here. But please, whatever you do, make sure that if you're trying this, use it on a laptop that you don't absolutely have to have daily to make sure everything works. Because if something doesn't install correctly or something doesn't work right, you will have to reinstall your operating system or buy a very cheap hard drive on eBay that you can replace your hard drive with. Let's go to eBay here. Just type in SATA hard drive 2.5. Well, here's one, Windows 11 installed, but you don't want that. You just want something new, used, whatever. 1 terabyte, like it was a Toshiba 500 gigabyte, brand new for $17.49. Make sure if you're going to get a hard drive off of eBay, definitely make sure it is new or open box only. You don't want anything refurbished. Check your location. I'm in US, and I always put free shipping, but that's me. I apologize, my hands are like starting to give out. and then go for lowest, shipping lowest first. There's a hard drive right here, 320 gigabyte. That's what I installed for $9.99. Like I said, it's worth buying just a cheap hard drive to install this on, just to make sure it works before you overwrite all your information. Make sure you want something bigger than 250 gigabytes. Like 320 gigabytes is fine. 320 or larger. Um, There's a 500 gigabyte for $12.99. Like I said, you can find different sizes, but make sure it's like 320 or larger. You don't want a 250 gigabyte or smaller, or 80 gig, nothing like that. Because if it actually does work for you, I mean, you could just leave it on this hard drive and keep your hard drive for a backup, so you don't have to overwrite your hard drive. It is well worth spending $10 to get a 320 gigabyte hard drive, and not destroying all your information that's actually on the hard drive you have now. Because if something happens, you can always slap that hard drive right back in your laptop, and you still have an operating system and files and folders and all that on there. Like I said, you can get different sizes. Let's see if we go 500 gigabyte, 750, and 1 terabyte. Filter those in. 500 gigabytes, $12.99. $14.99. 17.49. So for under $20, you can get a 500 gigabyte hard drive. And save the hard drive you have now. And since this is a slimmed down, tiny version of Windows 11, it doesn't take up a lot of room. So you would have extra room for games, music, videos, things like that. Alright, that is it. I am fixing to go. Once again, let's go back to where you can download this from. And right here is Tiny 11. Alright, I am fixing to go. I apologize for the length of this. Get that piece of junk in here. Anyway, that's it. I am fixing to go. If you want Windows 11 but you don't have the TPM chip, this is the version you need. Let's go up here to search. Let's see if I can type in their username. Alright, let me try it this way. Yep. Let's go for software. Now you can type in them by name, which is NTDEV, and up in the search bar, and their stuff will come up, and it is alright. That's it. If you want to check that out, feel free to. If you want Windows 11 but you don't have the TPM chip, you can try this tiny version, and you saw it run on the laptop over here. Once again, some things in the Microsoft Store will not install, such as Pluto TV, but you can install that through the web browser. You do have to install a web browser first. It does not come with a web browser of any type. So you go to the Microsoft Store, download Firefox. I will not download Edge or anything like that from Microsoft. So I downloaded Firefox, then I used Firefox to download Chrome. You can watch things like Pluto TV through the web browser, either Firefox or Chrome. If you want to install Opera, you can install it through Firefox. Or once you have Chrome installed, you can install Opera through Google Chrome. Anyway, this is I was trying to make this quick, but I apologize. It's 42 minutes. I feel bad today, so I just lost track of time here. Let's get this stinker in here one more time, and then I will go. And hopefully this helps somebody out that wants Windows 11. Once again, please do not overwrite your hard drive. I will possibly make another video if somebody wants me to, installing it on my girlfriend's laptop. I cannot install it on mine. As you can see, Midnight has got some damage to mine. He actually jumped on the laptop and the battery expanded so much that it literally, I had to break the bottom of the laptop to get the battery out, and then to put another battery on here because the battery shorted out and it expanded, and I could not get the battery out at all. It expanded that much, and that was after he jumped on the laptop and he cracked the thing here. But my girlfriend does have a Latitude E6500, so if somebody wants me to install this on her laptop and see if it works on her older Latitude E6500, I will do that for you. You just have to let me know. But it seems like everything's working alright except for my button on my speakers. It's not lighting up, but you could see that it will work. You know, the button does turn the speakers off and on. Most things were installed, just a couple things, and device driver said unknown device. I believe that had to do with the speaker button. I could be wrong, I don't know. But anyway, I'm fixing to go. If you want to try this version, that's fine. If you don't have the TPM chip, this is the one you need. When you set up Rufus to burn it as MBR and not GTP or GPT, whatever it is. You need that under MBR for an older laptop like this. Alright, I am fixing to go. Everyone have a good day. Sorry this video is so long. Alright, bye.